My grandmother-in-law has been having trouble getting out of the garage, so I was asked to install some handrails so she has an easier time with the stairs. I made these using construction lumber and components commonly available at the home center, and finished it with a paint-grade poplar handrail. As you can see, it's plenty strong to hold me up, so it should work out fine. The Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990 mandates that handrails be 34 to 38 inches from the walking surface, so I'm shooting for 38 inches to make it easier to grab. While I doubt that this handrail meets all the ADA requirements, this is a private residence, and in-use testing shows that it'll be plenty sturdy for the use it will see. It can always be cut down when the house is sold if the inspector doesn't like it. I start by cutting some notches in the tops of a 4x4 post, which will hold a 2x6. The 4x4s will be 36 inches high, and I'm cutting a 3.5 inch by 1 inch notch in the timber, which will give a total height of 38 inches when the 2x6 is set on top. I use a 45-degree chamfer bit to ease the corners of the 4x4 posts, so that they're not so sharp if accidentally bumped into. I then smooth the surface of the post with the belt sander to get rid of any splintering. Since this 4x4 is 6 feet long, I cut it in half to make two 3-foot posts. Now is time to pre-make the handrails. This is a paint-grade poplar rail from the home center. These tend to have a lot of pieces glued together into a larger piece, so aren't well suited for staining and varnishing. However, as this will be in a garage, I'm saving them a couple bucks instead of using a solid oak handrail. I start by cutting a 45-degree miter on the handrail for an end return. These end returns are required so that arms, purses, bags, and other things don't get snagged on the free end, which could result in someone falling if they're not expecting it. With the end returns applied, I go through the process of sanding and sealing the rails. I wipe off the sanding dust with mineral spirits. In total, I applied 3 coats of a water-based polyurethane, lightly sanding between coats, and wiping off the sanding dust with a tack cloth. Now back to the garage and laying out for the posts. I want the rails to be set back slightly from the door jamb. Using the notch to locate the post, I set the location of the post base back about 3 inches from the edge of this concrete step. Since this post base takes 4 anchors, I start first by drilling for 1 anchor. I get the anchor snug tight without torquing it to final spec. This helps me get the other holes perfectly aligned, since now the post base won't move as I'm drilling. With the wedge anchors installed, I torque them to spec, 50 foot-pounds for these particular anchors. This ensures that the wedge is properly set into the concrete, giving you the maximum tensile capacity. I then repeat the process for the other post. These posts are just slightly too large to slip into the post bases, so I had to shave them with a power planer. I hit record at the wrong time, so I don't have the footage of this process, but I took off about 1/8 inch on 2 adjacent faces of the post. Using a level to check the post for plumb, I attach the post to the base using the manufacturer's recommended fasteners. As you can see, these posts aren't going anywhere. Now it's time to attach the 2x6s to the posts and the wall. These will hold the poplar handrail. I first cut these to length, and then use the saw to clip the corners of the cut end. The ends of these 2x6s fall between wall studs, so I'm using a piece of 1x material to catch the end of the 2x6 and screw it into the studs. I use a stud finder and a piece of tape to locate the studs in the area. In wood-framed houses, there is always a stud behind the door jamb. Next, I fasten the 2x6 to the post with a couple lag type screws. And again, repeating the process for the other side. Finally, it's time to install the handrail. I purposely built these long so that I could trim them on site, which is what I'm measuring for now. So that the end returns butt into the 2x6, I measure for their location, using the rail support and my speed square as a gauge. Since I know the top of the 2x6 is at 38 inches, I set the top of the rail level with it. And of course, tidying up after a job is a must. I'm really pleased with how these handrails turned out. They're incredibly sturdy, and I have no doubt they'll hold up to their use. And, more importantly, I'm happy that I was able to make my grandmother-in-law's life a little easier as it gets harder for her to move around. Thanks for sticking to the end of this one. I hope it was informative and will be useful. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.